I'm speaking to Brett Bowden, who's the Operations Coordinator for Canobolas RFS. Welcome to CCN, Brett.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
Yeah, now you've had quite a contingent have left the Central West area, including 4 from Cowra, heading down to give the guys down in Adelaide a bit of a break.
Yeah, the Rural Fire Service had sent somewhere in the order of 200 odd personnel in total down to assist with the fires in the Adelaide Hills, and the bulk of those left last weekend, and they travelled down, taking with them a number of strike teams of trucks or fire tankers, and they travelled on Saturday, arrived on Sunday, and were put immediately to work. And the way that we operate, our firefighters do normally a 3-day shift length. So their commitment is typically 5 days, so they normally travel 1 day, work 3 days, and then travel back home on 1 day. And so every 72 hours, basically, we're looking to change those people out. So the team that flew out on Tuesday, and there were 10 that flew out of Cowra. 4 of those were firefighters from the Cowra district. There were a couple from Greenthorpe, and a number also from Young. That flew out on Tuesday. Those guys have, fortunately for them, been able to finish a day early. They'll be coming home tomorrow due to some rainfall that they've had over the fire ground, which is great news.
I bet you the people down Adelaide or down South Australia are absolutely wrapped in that rainfall.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they are, Gary, and they're looking forward to a little bit more rainfall over the next few days as well. The forecast is pretty good for some rainfall over the next 24 to 48 hours, where they might get up to 50 mil across that area of the Mount Lofty Ranges where the fire or the major fire activity was. So I'm sure they're looking forward to that.
I bet they are, and these guys, when they get back, they'll be exhausted, I'd imagine.
Well, they are getting off a day early, but I'm sure they'll be happy to be home, having done a day and a half of pretty active work down there. So certainly when they first arrived, they had fairly high temperatures and some gusty winds to deal with, and then they had some fairly savage storms in the afternoon, which is always a bit of a problem when you're on a fire ground. Rain then starts to inhibit the access, and particularly your escape routes out of the fire ground. You can quite easily get bogged when you have rainfall across a fire ground, because the tracks do get chopped up with the heavy vehicle movements that they get on them, and the multiple vehicle movements that fire trucks provide. The tracks can quite quickly become impassable. So it's once you see rain clouds starting to develop around a fire ground, you're pretty quickly looking to try and get out so that you can in fact get out. Yeah.
But you're not going to knock the rain back, are you?
Oh, absolutely not. It's you know, when you get any of the big fires, it's rain that puts them out. I mean, the firefighters and the resources they have available to them, including the aircraft, can do what they can to protect the property and steer the fires as best they can. But when it all comes down to it, it's really the rain that puts an end to it. So let's hope they'll get some more rain over the coming days, and it really puts an end to the fire threat, at least for a couple of weeks. I mean, there's still a lot of summer to go yet, Gary, and we've still got another 8 to 10 weeks of good summer, and particularly in our part of the world. And whilst we've had some rain locally, we're still can't let your guard down just yet.
Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing that with us, and let's hope they all get back safe and don't have to go again.
No worries at all. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for your interest.